Hey guys, Pryor here with Rafter P Construction. Doing a little bit of Barndo 101 with insurance. So I'm here with Terren today because we had some technical difficulties from the first shoot. So he came back with us today, and he's going to go over a couple things with us. Terren, just throw your thing out there.
Yes, sir. So the first common question that we have today is, do you have to be a farm and ranch to be classified as a Texas Farm Bureau insurance policyholder? And so the answer is no. You do not have to have you do not have to be a farmer to be a part of Texas Farm Bureau. You can be someone living in downtown Dallas with no farm experience at all and still be a Texas Farm Bureau member. And so we can take care of anyone in the entire state of Texas.
Awesome. And a big reason why we had Hunt County Farm Bureau come in here is because they're very involved with the community. We're at local charity events all the time, us together. We're buying kids' animals at the local fairs and in other counties too, not just Hunt County. But we're heavily involved in the 4-H and FFAs. And so I just want to bring him in there. We'll go through a couple things. Class 4 ratings, that is the actual rating that the RPAN or PBR that Rafter P uses on the barndominiums. And that gives you that Class 4 rating, which is the highest rating you can get. It's a discount on your coverage. And we'll also go into the fire rating. Fire rating is because mostly steel, and you get a discount on that as well because of how it's built. But what Terren would like to go over too is there's things and limitations because it is rural, because of fire hydrants.
Exactly. And so insurance bases your rating off of a PPC, and so that number is anywhere from the number 1 up to 10. And so 10 means you're out in the middle of nowhere farming and ranching. 1 means you're probably in downtown Dallas next to a fire hydrant. And so your rating is going to depend on your zip code and your PPC. And so that's the biggest way that rates are going to fluctuate with the fire ratings.
So you're going to get those heavy discounts from the fire rating and the Class 4, but some things that might struggle a little bit or might make the price vary, versus conventional versus, Barndo is, it is rural, right. Fire hydrant being out there, so yeah, it is cheaper, and it all depends on where you're building. You can have a fire hydrant right in front. I mean, I've seen them all over the place. It just depends on the rural areas that have more water, wells, stuff like that. So that's where you kind of see that discounted rates vary between conventional builds, city builds, rural builds.
Exactly.
So my big thing, this is what I pride myself on, is the wind loads. In the state of Texas, it's a 2015 IBC code. If your local county does not state anything different, or city that you're building in. So what that is, that's what Rafter P builds under, is we put our wind loads at 115, or if we're building somewhere else, we follow those codes. But in Hunt County and Decatur both, those are the codes that we're following. So you need to ask when you're talking to your builders, if they don't know about any of this, you might want to start looking for somebody that does. I mean, that would be Rafter P, I guess. Yeah. So anyways, so that is a big thing, something you need to know to put your family in it. You want to make sure they're following those codes along with the energy codes, which that's a whole nother video. But that's one thing that goes along with your insurance, so is the wind loads. This is another thing, Terren. You love to talk about this because this is how the bad insurance guy and the good insurance guy, bad builder, good builder, get the jobs when people are not paying attention or educated about product, right?
Exactly.
So I'll let you talk about the replacement cost versus ACV.
So there's 2 main types of insurance when it comes to your home insurance. The first one is replacement cost, and the second one is ACE, or actual cash value. I recommend my clients to have replacement cost coverage if they qualify for it. And so what that means is the insurance company is going to pay out what it costs to rebuild that home in current conditions. And so that's like the Cadillac of home insurance. ACV, or actual cash value, is going to depreciate a certain amount from the replacement costs before writing you a check. And so let's say you got a $100,000 house out in Greenville, Texas, and your deductible is $1,000. So you're already out $1,000 from your deductible, and if it's 10 years old, the insurance company is going to deduct 10 years worth of depreciation off of the actual replacement cost of the home. So you're getting a lower amount of money back if you have a claim with the ACV policy. Now, if you've got just a barn, just a regular barn that's that you paid cash for and don't have any debts or anything on it, but you got a small living area within that barn, you can still have replacement cost on your personal property, but have ACV on the barn itself if you don't want the Cadillac of home insurance to save some money on your on the barndominium.
And unfortunately, Terren, we've seen this with the weather coming through, and having total losses, and having to deal with the insurance company, with the clients. The clients are coming to us, hey, this is all the insurance is giving us, but I know it's worth this much. And I look at that policy, and then we got to face them in the eye, even though me and you didn't write the policy, or me and that that adjuster, the adjuster had nothing to do with it. They're mad at the insurance company, but be mad at the insurance agent. He's the one who wrote the policy.
Yep.
A lot of people don't know about this, but it's the same thing with the builder, same thing with the insurance guy. Be your best friend or your worst enemy. So be educated up front before you start looking at dollar bills, because in the end, anybody can get to the cheapest number.
Oh yeah.
But that's me and him are not in that business. We're in here to take care of you. We're in here to have a lifelong client. So explain that personal property off-premise deal.
Yes, a personal property off premises. Let's say you've got a barndominium and you have a shop, let's say 500 feet away from your barndominium. And you've got some expensive tools in there, you have some tack in there, you've got feed in there, things that are valuable to you within that shop. And so that can be considered a personal property off premises. And so you can either list that on your policy, or let's say you're driving in a U-Haul moving from Greenville and going to McKinney, for example, and you get into an accident, everything falls out of that U-Haul. You're off premises from your main dwelling, and so that your personal property is still covered if you're traveling or you have your stuff in a storage building as well. And so there's ways to list these things. If it's ag use, it can be tractors, it can be tack, it can be just clothes and shoes. There are different ways to list these things on policies, and I try to sit down with each client and giving examples and ways to list these things on their policies.
Right. And then the last two that I have to talk about, and I'll ask you a question we haven't talked about before between these two. The farm and ranchers have the commodities ability to insure the commodities, and also farm liability. I think go hand in hand. If you're a farmer rancher, you're going to want the liability, and you want to talk your commodities. Mm-hmm. So me living in a barndominium and ranching, I have hay storage.
Yes, sir.
So what are we looking like when we start looking at that? And I have ranch hands that work for me.
Perfect.
So what would you advise for me if I was, hey, Terren, look at this. What do we need to do with this? Tell me what I need to do. So what would be your advice?
And so I offer a policy called the Texas Ag Advantage. It's the best thing ever, in my opinion. I'm kind of biased, but it's the best thing ever for farmers and ranchers, because you can list everything on one policy. You can list your horses, you can list your cattle, you can list your hay, you can list your tack, you can list grain. So if you have, let's say, corn's in back in distance right now for market, and you harvest your corn and you have it in a grain bin, I can insure that for you before we take it to the elevator to actually sell that commodity. And so it's all on one policy. It's easy for you to manage. It's easy for me to manage as well.
Right.
So,
but anyways, that's a big thing, and it just coincides. Being rural, some people are not interested in the farm stuff, but we're trying to get it all out there that you don't have to be a farm ranch to participate with Farm Bureau. You don't have to be a rancher farmer, but they handle all types of policies with the barndominiums, houses, cars, you name it. I mean, they can insure just about anything you want. And he goes all over the state of Texas, so don't think you're just in Hunt County. So what was your number if they want to holler at you?
My number is 903-570-5667. You can call anytime.
Nothing after 10 o'clock, ladies. He is available, but he likes to go to bed early. He's a farmer, too.
That's right.
But anyways, hey, holler us at RafterPConstruction.com to look at our website, and also check us out on Facebook, YouTube. And don't forget, we're burning hot on 7018, and ring that bell.
This is true. Well, sometimes I think that old preacher man.